I feel like it's safe to do that now that you know Diddy's gone.
Hey, yo. They can make good songs, but they can't rap. That's how I put it, you know? Drama and violence, poverty, despair. Easy from the H, you already know. Hottest out the city.
Welcome to Sin City Sovereignty. This is a podcast where we cover news from the West Coast and hip-hop and true crime. Today I have a special guest with me. You want to introduce yourself?
CZFromTheH, you already know. Hottest out the city.
So CZ, you're from Hemet, California.
Yup.
So what's the story behind your name?
Well, CZ, I ain't gonna say too much, but you know, like, when I be with the homies and shit, like, and we be doing our shit in the streets, you know, we wouldn't be like, wanted to say names and all that, so we just like do initials, but it was like too many homies in the clique, so you know, it's like 40 C's, so it's like, bro, I gotta pick one, you know, and then it just became like CZ type shit. I don't know.
I gotta make a name for
everybody.
everybody.
But then, so everyone just kind of knew me as CZ, but I don't know, I used to have the name like Trap Star CZ when I was like 14 or 15, like some bullshit, but CZ from the H just, it sounded way better, you know what I mean?
It does. Like the Trap
The
Star
ring
got like,
type shit, yeah.
it got like cringe after a while. You're like,
I just didn't fuck with it no more.
Alright, so this is a more interesting question. I guess a little bit personal, but so most people, especially in my experience, like back when I used to be like in Vegas, like 100%. And I'd be like, oh, I went out to Hemet. People are like, where?
Ain't nobody even know what that shit is. Like,
yeah, so most people watching this probably won't even know where Hemet is. So if you had to describe Hemet to somebody, how would you describe it?
A small town where everyone knows everyone. A crack town for sure. A bunch of crackheads everywhere and just like drama and violence, poverty, despair. I don't know, like just bad shit, you know?
Yeah, I've noticed it's pretty bad.
Yeah,
but
it's been getting worse, but that's all I can really say. There's not much to do out here. That's why I feel like it's just bad as it is, you know?
Yeah, that's one thing I noticed, like, the longer I was out here, it's like, the only thing to do interesting is go to, like, Walmart.
Oh my god, it goes down, bro. It goes down to Walmart. I was just thinking that, cause I just came from there, bro. Like,
that's like the place to be.
Bro, I've gone down there, like, no. Yeah, shit crazy. Pays and all types of shit.
Alright, so do you think, growing up in Hemet, do you think that made your music, like, grittier? Or, like, is that just you as a person specifically?
I feel like for sure, yeah, because if you look at the stats, too, Hemet made top 50 most depressing cities in all of America, bro. Like, you know what I mean? That's some gritty shit, bro. All of America. And we don't even got a population of 100,000. So,
that's
like,
crazy, especially since like nobody knows where it is. Like,
exactly, but it's just depressing here, so I feel like that's the gritty shit, you know. It's just,
I think it got like number 5 in California alone, right?
I don't even know on that, but I wouldn't doubt it. You know what I mean? I wouldn't. I just know it's just depressing here.
It's so
like
bad.
Gritty type shit.
So when did you first realize that Hemet wasn't like just home, but like fuel for your music? Like when did that start?
That's a good question. I'd say probably like a year ago. I don't know, a year or two ago. Like just all the hate coming back, you know, just pressured me up more. I don't know. I kind of always knew that too, but I'd say a year or two ago.
Was there ever a moment that you felt like being in a smaller city like this was kind of like holding you back?
100%, yeah. Because if I was like in LA or some shit, bro, I feel like I would have been popping because it's just more networking out there, you know.
Yeah, there's like no network or nothing.
There's nothing out here, bro.
Yeah, I noticed that too. Like when I started my music, I was like trying to figure out not just like studios, but also places to get like performances. And there's like nothing. You have to go all the way to Marietta just to get to that. Yeah, I noticed that too. It's bad.
And I'd say too, like when people hear like, oh, he's from Hemet, you know, they just assume the crack town, so they just hate on some bullshit like that, you know.
Oh, like they just assume you're a crackhead or something.
Yeah, exactly, because that's all it's known for, Hemet. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
or like just or just like the IE shit in general. You know, people be hating on the IE, so like that's what I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, especially after the whole like big Compton wave fell off, it's just like nobody fucks with it anymore. I feel like. Yeah. So, what's a Hemet story that shaped you, but would sound fake if you mentioned it in your music?
I gotta think the one that's like, you know.
Probably already have mentioned it, honestly.
There's one I want to say, but you know, I ain't trying to like incriminate myself. You feel me? So,
I mean, we don't gotta go there.
yeah.
I'm not trying to like.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Most of the shit I could think of is like, I ain't trying to.
Moving on. So we're done with Hemet.
There's a
for
lot
now.
for sure though.
Alright. It sounds different, right? It's like a weird West Coast, and it's something like that I've specifically never like heard is different from everybody else. So, is there anything that influenced that, or is like that just you?
What?
Like your sound. It's very unique in a weird kind of way.
Just listening to all the West Coast artists, and I feel like they wouldn't be doing it. Like they can make good songs, but they can't rap. That's how I put it. You know, if you know what I mean. And I feel like it's the same bullshit over and over and over. So I had to like.
I kind of
take it more serious with that same sound, but also like switching it up with my own. But I do have a lot of influence from all these artists. You know what I mean? But I'm trying to stand out. I don't know.
I feel like a lot of times it's like wherever they come from.
Yeah.
They develop like a very specific sound of that region, but yours is just like completely different. Like nobody knows or has heard of it.
It's because it's unique, you know. And I'm actually I have respect for the craft. Is what I'd say. Like if you actually listen to what I'm rapping, you know. It's not just I actually put like thought into my bars, basically, is what I'm trying to say, you know?
Yeah, I'd say listening to your music, like wordplay is probably the like number one thing that you're best at.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm trying to work on my flow no more. Like I think the Dons and Capos too that I sent you, that shit.
Yeah, that's coming out. Be on the lookout.
Yeah, oh God, I'm gonna shoot a video for that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's one thing that I noticed a lot. Like when I reacted to one of your music videos.
Yeah.
I had to like keep pausing because there was just so much in like even just 30 seconds of it. It was like
just a lot of action in your face type shit.
Yeah.
That's how I'm trying to keep it, you know?
Yeah, that's the best for sure. So when you're doing your music, do you feel like you're speaking for Hemet or do you feel like you're speaking to Hemet?
I feel more like I'm speaking to Hemet for sure because people be sleeping on me right now. But I feel like after I get these other drops out, then I'm going to be speaking for Hemet, you know? Because I feel like I could really put myself in a position where I can put on for the city like that, you know? And I can say that I speak for Hemet. I don't feel like I have the right yet, but for sure, you know, I'm getting noticed. So
you're trying to get the numbers so you can actually speak for them instead of...
Right now, everyone in Hemet knows what's up, so yeah.
Yeah, I definitely feel
why I'm
like
speaking to them right now. I feel like instead of for the city, you know, I ain't like to that level yet. But I'm gonna get there, you know.
Yeah, that's pretty inspirational, to be honest. Time for our mid-podcast game. It's going to be called Criminal or Florida Man. So how this works is I'm going to ask you 3 different questions, and one of them was a real Florida crime, and 2 of them aren't even real. In the future, we're going to be doing, like, real crimes, but I wanted to make it not too difficult for the first time. So, okay. So, man arrested, you're probably going to get this easily, but number 1 is man arrested for throwing a live alligator through a drive-through window. Number 2, individual attempts to rob a bank using a banana as a weapon. Or number 3, person claims to be Jesus, steals a police car, and drives to a bar.
So one of them's fake?
One of them is a Florida man, is real, and the other 2 are fake. You have to pick the Florida one.
Because I've heard this story before. I've seen that before.
I figure, there's a video online.
Yeah, I've seen that on my Instagram.
We'll actually play it for everybody.
Now back to the interview.
I feel like there's a lot, but what's a bar that you dropped that was like really powerful for you, but you feel like it flew over everybody's head?
Every bar, honestly. Every bar. People be sleeping on me. I can't, like, there's so many to pick from. But honestly, yeah, every bar. I don't know how to put it.
That's crazy. Yeah, I noticed because like especially like when I'm listening to you, I feel like I have to re-listen to the song 3 times
before you catch it. You know what I mean? Because it goes over people's heads. But if you really look, because you're probably thinking it's like a filler bar type shit. But then you run it back and you listen, and then it's like, wait, hold up, that's actually like crazy, you know? Like,
and there's like a storyline to the last bar.
I tried it all.
Yeah, but it takes like multiple times to get it.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
that's interesting though. Not a lot of people do that. I mean, I've seen some rappers do it, but it's like something that I won't catch for years.
Yeah,
and it's
usually,
like, oh, it's cool.
I feel like the difference between me and the other rappers too is like they'll have like 1 or 2 bars like that in the song, but whereas mine is like a lot more packed in, where it's like there's like 30 bars.
So it's like every 10 seconds.
It's just backed in. Like, and I feel like there's not really anyone else that could do that on my level anywhere in the rap game. At least in this like niche that I got, like the trap sound, you know, whether it be West Coast or Florida, like.
Yeah, well, I mean, while we're on that, and since you know this is a podcast, so off prompt, do you feel like the rap game, like over the years, has gotten more like dumbed down as far as lyrically goes?
For sure, people just focus on flow and like what kind of sounds cool rather than respect for the craft and actually crafting bars. You know, they might have like 1 bar and then they like reuse it in like 50 different ways, you know?
Yeah, do you feel like it's like stayed like that, or do you think I think we're kind of like coming back now?
Honestly, I feel like it's getting worse, you know what I mean?
It's getting worse, you feel like?
It's getting worse and worse. That's why like, I don't even really listen to new rap. It like, unless it's like COVID era and before. Like, that's when it started falling off. People got lazy and shit.
That's kind of what I listen to. Now that I think about it, I'm like, wait, I don't really listen to any new shit either.
That's why I'm trying to come back to save the rap game. You know what I mean? Because, like, people...
Be the hero?
Mm-hmm. Type shit. Like,
we need it for sure. Oh, yeah. Alright, so when you write, because I know every rapper writes different, right? Yeah. Like, we got, like, Lil Wayne. He's never wrote a verse in his life, right? Mm-hmm. Like, he just writes off the dome. So, like, what's kind of your writing process? Do you, like, write or, like, off the dome or notes?
Yeah, mine's way different. I don't know if anyone else does it like this. I just try to, like, especially while I'm at work, I'll just try to think of, like, unique words, you know, that people aren't really rhyming. And then I write those down, and then I basically make bars out of that, you know?
Oh, so you kind of do like little thesaurus words type
shit, you know? Anytime I like get a cool word that I want to rhyme with in my head, I'll just write it down, just the word, like not even a bar, you know, just the word, and then I try to come up with bars like around that word, you know.
That's pretty interesting. I feel like I do something kind of similar, but not exactly. Like, I'll look for a word, or I'll think of a word. Sometimes it's like the beat name or whatever, but I'll just look for one word. And then I'll usually be able to like think of a story, like, and make an entire song just based off that word, right?
Yeah. Like
if it's suffering, then I just make a whole song about suffering. That's like, I feel like that's kind of what I do, but that's probably different than that. That is pretty different. I've never heard of that.
Yeah,
before.
For sure. That's what I'm saying. It's like I got my own way of doing it, you know. I don't really like to. I noticed too, like a lot of the West Coast rappers out here, especially, they just punch in, you know. So they're just worried about flow. That's why it's like the wordplay, so it's trash, you know?
Yeah.
Think of shit.
I know it's like, it's a lot of club songs too, with like West Coast, especially nowadays. But I feel like it's like all the same. You know?
Over and over,
just
the same song 1,000 times.
Repeating the same themes and everything. For your music, I mean, not just your music, but you as a brand, like, what's the long-term goal? Like, what do you want your legacy to be when, like, CZ's all said and done? What do you want to leave behind?
What do I want to leave behind? I want to be looked at as, like, I want my flowers for my wordplay, basically. And then I want to build a brand overall, you know, start a clothing brand, start all types of shit, start putting people onto the map, too. So it's not just me rapping, you know, I have all the homies on the shit, and it's just, like, that's my legacy type shit. I don't even want to, like, not just me, but I want to put everyone on, basically, is what I'm trying to say, you know?
Yeah, and
that's my legacy.
I feel like it's safe to do that now that you know Diddy's gone.
Hey, yo.
Yeah, no, but I feel you. Yeah, that's interesting. But yeah, we definitely need more, like, unique rappers and not just like industry plants. I feel like the game is just like full of industry plants right now, and it's like
Exactly.
it gets worse and it gets better, but it's all the same at the end of the day lately.
And I understand the whole game too, so it's like I don't even need the label to like do no label to like do shit like that for me. You know, I can do that on my own, but with my own independent shit. So it's like people know changing it up.
Yeah, that's. I feel like that's one of the most like interesting things about the rap game today. Like 30 years ago, you wouldn't have been able to say that, right? But now it's like anybody can do it, just independently.
You just got to understand the formula and really stay consistent and put the money into it. You know.
Yeah, I mean it's a lot more marketing than it is just like putting out a song.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's why I stopped dropping as much. You know, I only drop like once a month now, like a video though every time.
Yeah,
you know,
it's crazy too because you have to listen to the right people and get like a formula. Because I noticed like over the years I've been doing it, you listen to someone who's like a music coach and they'll be like, never stop dropping, and then you listen to another guy and he's like, don't drop so much, and it's like you gotta figure out like what to do exactly.
Yeah, because you don't want to necessarily like flood the market. You gotta like drop your song and kind of let it breathe for a little bit. You don't want to overwhelm your audience in a sense. And also, I feel like if you drop too much, it waters down your content, you know?
Yeah, so, like it's just all the same thing.
Yeah, because people will like start to take it for granted. Like, oh, he's uploading again, he's dropping again. So it's like, if you kind of leave them hanging a little bit, you know, or like itching for a new song, they're going to, you know, actually tap in when it drops.
They're going to keep looking for it and wanting it. And listening to your old shit. Like,
that's the whole thing. That's the whole idea. And that's why I'm trying to like change that up. And I understand the formula now. That's what you got to do. And really, videos is the thing, because, like, audios are cool and all, and people are going to listen to you rap or whatever, but they're not going to understand your face as a brand. And that's overall what you want to build, you know? Keep dropping those videos with your face in it, and then people will start to recognize your face and be like, oh, this dude's dropped again? I remember, you know, like...
Yeah, I mean, even the ones that are faceless, like, they have a specific mask.
Exactly,
and that's
so
like
that's their brand. That's their brand. So, like, yeah, exactly. If they don't want their face as a brand, they have the mask as the brand. But it's still a brand, you get what I'm saying? Whereas if you just keep dropping audios with different cover arts and shit, like, that's not a brand, you know?
So if you had to give a tip to anybody, it would be like branding 100% first thing.
100% and videos, promotion, consistency. And consistency don't even mean like dropping the same day. It means hopping on the same beats, using the same flows, same type of wordplay. Like, before people even tap on your song, they should kind of know what to expect in a sense. Think the way the homie told me like before, it would be like if Eminem one say just started singing like Beyonce. You'll be like, what the fuck is it? You know what I mean? Yeah. You tap on the song expecting like some hum, like, you know? And then you hear that and it's like, what the fuck?
Like, okay.
Yeah.
No, but I feel like that's one thing that I've struggled with. Like, I'm still trying to hone in on like a specific sound. Like, I'll be like on this end one day, this end the other day. You probably know this song. Yeah.
Okay. That's what it was for me, like probably past last year before I like really started taking it serious. I was just like, you seen like I had the G-Funk shit, I had like all types of shit, like the trap shit.
But you're just trying to find out what worked best for you.
Exactly,
right?
and I kind of figured that out now. That Dons and Coppers type sound, for real. I'm gonna
that's oh my god.
Yeah, those type of beats.
That thing, like, it took like 6 months too, but that like blew up, huh?
Oh god.
Yeah, we're gonna get a video for that soon.
Oh yeah,
allegedly.
Oh god.
Yeah. Alright, so Hemet, like especially Hemet, I feel like they have a lot of like untapped talent. Do you think you're ever gonna like build like a label or something based around that for people from Hemet or not?
I for sure might in the future. That's the idea, but I don't necessarily want to be like, if someone signs to it, you know, they're not signing their life away type shit. You know, it's like, I don't know how to explain it, but I'm just trying to put people on like that in a sense, or at least form a group, even if it ain't a label. You know.
Yeah, I feel like the day of like unfair labels should be like coming to an end.
I ain't trying to scam nobody out or nothing. I'm really trying to help people grow their brand and shit. So.
Yeah, like that 70-30 7-year contracts.
Yeah, like, now you're signing your life away, dog. Like, fuck all that. No.
Your life and your money.
Uh-huh.
Alright. So, 10 years from now, what would you want Hemet and the world to say about you, about CZ?
That I was the greatest to come out of my city. Straight up. That's the goal.
And I mean, arguably would be the first too.
I mean, there's a couple that have made it out for sure. They're doing their shit.
Yeah.
Bandit the Mac, Can't Sleep on Him. Stank Nitty, James, he's doing this shit. Other than that, I mean, they had some hits, but like they're not really pop, you know. They're not eating off this shit like that, you know.
Yeah, but they made money, you know.
Exactly, but I'm really trying to take it to the next level, you know. Cause fools, like, I don't know, a lot of people from the city, and it's just like they'll have like one song that's hot, but like they're not consistent, you know. I feel like, and they're still doing their thing, but it's just.
Yeah, that's one thing I noticed in Vegas too. Like, people will drop, and like they'll start to get like noticed, and then it's like they disappear. Mm-hmm. I mean, or they get arrested, but you know, it's one of the two. And then when they come back, whether it's because they got arrested or just come back for whatever, it's like they don't even care anymore. They're like, okay, you were 3 years ago. Like, no one cares.
Exactly, because they're not consistent and shit, you know.
Yeah, definitely. So we're coming to an end here. I've run out of questions, but is there anything like to expect like crazy in the near future from you or what?
Hella videos, and they're gonna be crazy videos.
And the Dons and Capos too, allegedly.
Oh yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna shoot a video for Dons and Capos. One, I probably will, and then I'll probably drop a video for Dons and Capos, just like back to back type shit. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, we need that.
Oh God,
for real.
Takeover gonna come after that, you know. Like after those 2 videos drop, but it's not even that. Like I have a bunch of other crazy unreleased. I probably have like 50 to 100 unreleased songs just from this year with all this new shit. You know what I mean? Like, so I've been working. Like, you know what I mean? Like
non-stop writing.
Oh God, literally, I'm just in the booth punching in. Like, I got probably 2 or 3 EPs ready. You know, I just need to get a mix and shit. But I got all features on them and shit. And then I have probably like 20 or 30 songs. Some solo, you know, some with features that are like I'm not really gonna drop in like an EP, you know, might shoot videos for it type shit. So, and then I have a bunch of shit in my lyrics, you know. I just stay writing and shit. So it's more to come, you know. I'm just trying to figure out which songs are the hardest to shoot like videos for first, basically. But shitload of videos for sure.
Okay. I've actually thought up a question right now.
Yeah.
So, as you're starting to like blow up and like actually get noticed, have you noticed things changing? Just in general, have you noticed anything changing?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
I mean, just like old homies watching my stories, they don't even follow me no more, you know, but I see them peeping every time, like, or old ops seeing my shit blow up and they trying to make fairy tales on my name and shit, like some bullshit that never happened, you know, like, and then old females trying to come back. I swear to God, every female I've ever messed with in my life has tried to double back, like, probably in the past 3 months, and it's like,
hey, how you been?
Yeah, I'm like, bro, like, and then just like I'm saying, like, even homies too, like old homies, you know, that I see them lurking on my shit, or old ops, it's like everyone, you know, and like people are just, I don't know.
Like people are starting to hear your name.
Yeah,
like, wait, I know him.
Yeah, exactly, and they're like, wait, hold up, he's blowing up right now, like, you know, they're coming back to check and see what's up, and it's like, for sure though, 100%.
I mean, is it like just negative, or has there been like positive?
Like
positive?
even people that are like, you know, that like hated me and shit. They're like, oh hey, how you doing? Type shit. Like, you know, just trying to be friendly again. Like, yeah, I swear to God, bro. I don't know. Like, it's crazy what clout does. I guess like everyone, bro.
That is weird.
Yeah.
I mean, is there any like final things you want to say to like the audience or anybody watching? Maybe people interested in, I guess, being like you or whatever?
Stay consistent. Respect your craft. And, I mean, I don't know what else to say. But be ready for the takeover. That's coming soon. For sure.
I guess that's it.
Yep.
Make sure to subscribe.
Tap in. Follow Ckei. All that.
I'll put his link in the title and description and everything, and mine. That's it.